Good morning, everyone. In today's class, we'll discuss on pricing procedure. It is one of the important concept in SAP MM, where pricing procedure is like wherever you go for interview, it is the main topic for the discussion for the interview purpose. How the pricing procedure will pull into the purchase order, and how the price will go into the purchase order. So all this discussion will be done by the interview. Today's class will discuss on this topic. So what is pricing procedure? First of all. So whenever you create a purchase order, some type of conditions will flow. So if you're a buyer, you'll get to know that you have some price dependent conditions, some price independent conditions will be there. Even we have like a surcharge conditions, even we have like freight, EDA conditions, tax conditions. So every condition is like included in the pricing procedure. So how will you configure this one in pricing procedure? So based on what configuration, based on like what data you'll do configuration of this pricing procedure first of all. Now go to details like that. Let's think that you have like vendors. First, I will explain you theoretically how the pricing procedure will flow and on what basis we will configure. First, I will explain theoretically. After that, I will configure and I will configure in the SAP and I will show it to you. Okay, and let's think that you have vendors in your company, and your company is like international company and you are handling like international vendors as well as domestic vendors. Just think an example. And international vendors, you have different type of conditions are there, and domestic vendors we have different conditions will be there, because international vendors transport is different, domestic vendors transport is different, and few of the vendors such as is different, and few of the vendors such as is different, depends on the location and all. So we used to maintain the different type of conditions for different type of vendors. Let's think we have international and domestic. So if you take international vendors, you need to maintain one type of pricing procedure. And if you go to domestic type of vendors, you need to go to another type of pricing procedure. So see, so here only we have two types of pricing procedures we need to define. And few of the cases like STO things will be there, plan to will transfer. In those cases and all, you need to define one more pricing procedure with your organization conditions and all. It totally depends on your organization how you will configure. And if you have more type of vendors and if you're dealing more complicated things and all, then you should go with a different type of pricing procedures, and you need to define different type of pricing procedures, and you need to configure like that. But this is a simple way how you understand. If you understand this pricing procedure, you can configure for even for the complicated organization also, you can configure pricing procedure. Okay, let's think we have international vendors as well as domestic vendors. Okay, and I'll tell you. Wait. Now we have two type of pricing procedures are there. One is like international, other is domestic. And for this one, we should have calculation schema. I'll go through step by step. Just follow. By end of the class, you'll understand all the topics. So we have two vendors. Okay, we have two vendors. So we need to have two calculation schemas. Okay, we should maintain two calculation schemas in configuration. In SPRO configuration, you need to maintain two calculation schema. First, I'll explain how the process will go theoretically, and after that, I will show you the configuration. Now, just for the theoretical purpose, just learn two vendors is equal to two calculation schema. Two vendors means two type of vendors, international as well as domestic. Two calculation schemas we need to define. Let's think that two calculation schemas are ZRM 0012 and ZRM 00234. Okay. Okay. These are calculation schemas. Now, based on what we are maintaining this calculation schema, based on the vendors, domestic vendors as well as international vendors. So vendor is involving here. So we need to involve one more concept like schema group. Yes, schema group for vendor. Vendor schema group, one option, one configuration is there. We need to create a schema group for vendor and based on the organization also, right? Because the company code, all these are the plans are maintained in the purchase organization. So you need to maintain schema group for purchase organization. Purchase organization. Okay. So we have now two configuration. One is like calculation schema. You need to define calculation schema. Okay. Calculation schema you should define. And the third one is like schema determination. I'll tell you why schema determination and all. Just note down schema determination. So once you maintain the schema group for vendor and schema group for purchase organization, somewhere you should assign you should link, right? Let's think that you created a calculation schema ZRM 0012 and you created a schema group for vendor. Let's take a schema group for vendor is L1 and L2 and schema group for purchase organization is 101 102. This is schema group for purchase organization. So somewhere you should link this both schema, calculation schema and schema group. Schema determination helps to link between the calculation schema and schema group. Now we should link ZRM 0012 with L1, which is schema group for vendor, and 101, which is like schema group for purchase organization. I think now you understand why we maintain these three things. I'll explain you once again. See, first we define calculation schema. First we define calculation schema based on the vendors, how we have international vendors and domestic vendors, and after that we created a schema group for vendor and schema group for purchase organization. And in schema determination, what we done, we linked the schema calculation schema and schema group of vendor and schema group of purchase organization. So how it will work in P1 now? We created configuration. We have done the configuration correctly. Now we are done. So how the configuration will come into the P1 now? How, see this one? This one should pick up into the purchase order. Okay, I will explain you how these things and all, but just know this concept. How this one will come into the purchase order. Okay. Now we will go to SAP and we'll configure this one, and I'll show you thoroughly. If you don't understand, just go back and check it. You don't understand. One minute. Okay. We have Excel also. I'll show you in Excel also, so that you not get any confusion here. Okay. Now what now we should define? We have two types of vendors, like international vendor as well as domestic vendors. For that we should define calculation schema. Follow the step-by-step process so that you can configure the pricing procedure in your laptop. We should have two calculation schemas. Once we're done with two calculation schemas, then we'll maintain the two calculation schema and Okay, and what I told, schema group for vendor, schema group vendor, and what I mentioned, schema group purchase organization. Just I'm mentioning P organization. Okay, and what I told, schema determination now. Schema determination. Okay, now we'll do one by one. How to do, and also I will tell you. Okay. Okay. Now first we should define calculation schema. For that you need to go to the configuration. Go to SPRO, SAP reference image, where you will configure the pricing procedure. We will configure in the materials management. Okay, in the materials management, purchasing, go to the conditions. Here you can see the conditions. Go to conditions, and you can see here define price determination process. Just click on that one. And what I told here? You need to define calculation schema. Here we have calculation schema. Define calculation schema. Just click on define calculation schema. Here we have SAP standard calculation schemas are there. So you can copy from the SAP standard calculation schema instead of creating a new thing. Just copy us and create your own calculation schema and maintain your conditions. Just select RM 0000, which is like a SAP standard calculation schema, and just you have copy as option is there. Just copy as. Just enter. Just maintain RM 0099, which is our key, and it's already maintained RM 00 RM 987. Okay, so let us copy all, so that all the conditions will get copied. Just pressing on enter, so that all the conditions will get copied from the standard calculation schema to your calculation schema. This is our calculation schema, which is RM0345. Just mention here RM0345. So these, let's think, okay, these for domestic, and for international we need one more thing, one more calculation schema. We have defined one. Just save it. Again come back and create one more thing. We have, go to RM 0000, make copy as, just mention like RM0, that is 345, that is 346. Just mention 346. Just copy all. Just click on enter, enter, enter. So it will get copied everything, and just save it. RM0346. RM0346. Okay. So we determine two calculation schemas now. Okay. And now we should define schema group for vendor. Schema group for vendor. Just save it and go back. We have here, see here, define schema group. Define schema group. Here you can see schema group vendor and schema group for purchase organization. First, what should define? First, we should define schema group for vendor, and define one new vendor. Okay, define something, new entries. Schema group for vendor I will mention like R7. I will mention. It's your wish. Whatever you want to mention, you can mention R7. Mention like domestic vendors. Domestic vendors. Just enter it and save it. So we created domestic vendors 1, domestic is R7, okay, and we need one more, right, for international. Just mention R8, which is for international, okay. Just save it. Okay, we created R7, R8, okay, R7 and R8, okay. Now schema group for purchase organization. Go back. You see one more option here. Once you once you come back from the screen, we have one more option. If you want, I will show from there, okay. We have a defined schema group is there. Click on define schema group. We have schema group for purchase organization. So here we should define how many purchase organizations we should define. It's up to your wish. Click on new entries. What I will define 0987 I will mention, and I will maintain like depends on the organization, okay. I will maintain only two. I will maintain two organizations here. Here also see domestic I will mention. Domestic international 0987 and then 0988, okay. 0987, sorry. Zero 0988. 0988. And what I told, the last step is schema determination. So as I told you that this is useful to link. This will be useful to link. This will be useful to link the calculation schema and schema group for vendor and schema group for purchase organization. Now just see, I will mention here this one plus R7 plus 0987, one more thing, and we can maintain one more thing with these three, okay. Now I will show you later. We define this one and go back. We have schema determination. We have see one more option, define schema determination. Here you can see define calculation schema for standard purchase orders. It means that normal purchase orders. Just click on enter and click on new entries. For the schema group purchase organization, we forgot one more thing here. Here is assigned to the respective purchase organization. Here we define here schema group for purchase organization, and we need to assign this schema group of purchase organization to the your purchase organization. So how is the purchase organization? With respect to the company code, with respect to the client, or with respect to the plant, you need to assign to the your purchase organization, okay. Just what is the purchase organization? Just think, okay, a purchase organization is 2000. So what you should assign 0987, which you created. You created newly for the purchase organization, and you maintain this one 0987, okay. Now come back, okay. Now go to define schema determination and go to define schema determination for the standard purchase orders. There make a new entry. Make a new entry and mention like 0987 is the 0987 is the schema group for purchase organization, and schema group for vendor is R7, and the calculation schema is RM0345, RM0345. Just enter and save it, okay. Now what null configuration you have done? we have done schema calculation schema we defined, schema group for vendor we defined, and schema group for purchase organization we defined, and we assign to the respective purchase organization. And what is the pending here? We defined the schema group for vendor. Now we need to assign the schema group of vendor to the respective vendors. Now go to the vendor master of your purchasing of your organization. Go to XKJ2. Let's think you create a new vendor. Okay, here I'm creating a new vendor. Okay, SK01. To the company code. I'm creating a one vendor. Pricing I'm mentioning. Pricing. Trade mention like DE. Okay. Okay, go down. Reconciliation account. Okay. Okay. Now, okay, fine. Now we get a vendor. We get a normal vendor. But where we assigned that schema group? We didn't assign anywhere. Now I will show you where to assign that. The vendor we get is 1000288. Go to XK02 1000288. Remove everything, it's not required. And go to only the purchasing view of the vendor master. Here you can see schema group for vendor. Here one option is there, schema group for vendor. What is the schema group for vendor is R7. So R7 is the schema group for vendor. Just say it. Okay. Now we have done the configuration. We assign to the respective purchase organization. We assign to the respective vendor, and we both link that both to the respective calculation schema RM0345. Okay. Now we'll see how it will push to the purchase order. /n ME21N. We are creating a purchase order here with respect to the vendor. Okay. What is the vendor number? Vendor number is /OSK02 1000288 1000288. Material I'll mention like 00 something. Just enter it. And if you see here, where the calculation schema will trigger, it will trigger in the conditions tab. With respect to the what? With respect to the vendor and with respect to the purchase organization what we defined. Okay. So what we have done now, with for this vendor we maintain schema group for vendor, and in the configuration schema group for purchase organization we maintain, for this purchase organization we maintain the schema group for purchase organization, and for both we include that one calculation schema we linked. Where is that calculation schema now? Now go to the conditions tab in the purchase order, and if you see here, there is one there are some conditions type you can see here. So in which condition, these are the conditions type, in which calculation schema all these condition types are there. For this purpose you need to go to analysis tab. You can see here what is the calculation schema is there, RM0345. What is the calculation schema we defined? RM0345. You got it? So whatever the calculation schema we defined, it is coming here. It is pulling into the purchase order. Okay. So like this, you need to define the pricing procedure, how to define for respective vendors. And this is one part of pricing procedure. The other part is like how to maintain these conditions, how the price is pulling to the purchase order from PIR. So I'll explain you all these things. Okay, up to here one part is there. Now we will go to the second part of the pricing procedure. The second part is like how the price is pulling to the purchase order and what are the conditions type we will maintain. All these things we will explain in the second part of the pricing procedure. So first, as I will tell you, I will explain you theoretically. After that, I will go to the practical part. Okay, here what we defined? We defined the calculation schema here, and it is triggering into the purchase order. Okay, so in the second part, I will explain how the price will trigger into the purchase order into the calculation schema. Here I will explain you a few of the concepts. Just understand the concepts. When I go practically, you'll understand everything. We have condition table, condition fields, access sequence, condition type, and calculation schema. Okay, the concept is same. This is only same. Okay, what are the calculation schema you are determining here? The same calculation schema. Okay, but these are the additional 4 things are there, which will come into the picture. With respect to this 4, with the help of this 4, the price will pull into the purchase order. It means calculation schema. Okay, so what is condition table here? So condition table is like, in the condition table you can see all the condition fields. It means that all the fields in the all the fields in the purchase order, all the fields in the purchase order you can see in the condition table. So based on what you can maintain, the price of the combinations. So everything we can see in the condition table. So in condition table, conditions fields will be there. With respect to that, you will define the condition tables. You will define the condition tables, and you will define the combinations. Define the combinations. Like for example, you want price to be pulled with respect to the vendor planned purchase organization. Okay, purchase organization. With respect to this three, you want to pull price to the purchase order. So some other guy will come and he will tell that he want price to be pulled with respect to the material planned purchase organization. So you have now 2 requirements out there now. So one more guy will come and he will tell that with respect to the purchasing group, you should pull the price. So you have the requirements. So client requirements will be, there are many requirements will be there, but you need to satisfy all the requirements. So how will you satisfy all the requirements? With respect to the help of condition table. In condition table, you will maintain all the combinations. All the combinations will maintain in the condition table with the help of condition fields. Condition field means each field will call fields, condition field. In condition table, you will maintain all the fields with the combinations. Okay, and I'll explain you practically also this theoretical part. And what is access sequence? So once you define the condition table, somewhere you should maintain the combination of condition tables, right? The system will check for the combination. The system will check for the combination, and the system will pull the prices. So where you maintain the other combinations of condition table, you'll maintain in the access sequence. Okay, all conditions table we can maintain in the access sequence. Let's think it is a one combination, two combination. So in the sequence we'll maintain one after two combination, so that it will take from the combination of from the access sequence. And next we have condition type. So what is condition type? So here we have two conditions type. One is like price dependent and price independent. What is price dependent? Dependent means it is depending on one of the master data. It can be PA or it can be condition record, independent condition record, or let's say it can be a contract. So it depends on how you maintain. So it depends. It is depending on some other thing for the price. What is price independent? Independent is like it is not depending on anything. You need to maintain manually. The price will be maintaining manually. Okay, it is not pulling from anywhere. Okay, condition type content. So in condition type, how will you know that this is a independent condition type or dependent condition type? So if you have maintained access sequence here, condition type should, if you are linked to the access sequence, if you are linking access sequence to the conditions type, then it is like price independent like a dependent. It's like a dependent condition type. If you link any access sequence to the condition, that is dependent condition type. Okay. And how this is put into the purchase order of the calculation schema? Calculation schema contains all conditions types: price independent condition type, price dependent conditions type, tax, route, I mean like a surcharge, EDI conditions. All the conditions types are maintained in the calculation schemas only. Now I will tell you overview of this one. In condition table, you can find condition fields, and with the help of conditions fields, you will maintain combinations. Combination of conditions record you will maintain. Access sequence. So once you maintain the conditions table, you need to link all the conditions table to the access sequence. And once you create access sequence, you need to link the access sequence to the condition type. So once you link the all these things into the condition type, the condition type should be maintained in the calculation schema. Okay. This one I will show you how to do the configuration. Just follow the path. First we need to go to condition table. I think we have path here, but I will show you from starting if you want. Slash and OLME you can go purchasing. Slash and OLME and go to conditions and go to price determination process. What I told you first thing is like condition table. Go to condition, maintain condition table. You can see maintain condition table here. Execute and create condition table, change condition table, display condition table. Here create a condition table and give the table name as like 964. Is depending on how you wish. Okay, you can give your own condition table also, and you can see all condition fields here. So it's up to your wish how will you maintain the combinations. Just come down. You can use page down option to go down. So we can see here region, tax code, variant, vendor material group, vendor sub-range hierarchy, supplying vendor, supplying plant, price plant. I want with respect to plant, with respect to material, and with respect to the where you can see this one. Okay, see for the organization. So these three I maintain here, okay, and I will save it here. Go back. Do you want to save your data first? Yes. What the condition table you created? 964. mention the package as something. Just mention something. 964 is the condition table. And 64. One TR has been created. Condition table what we created? 964. 964 we created. Okay. And for this combination, we need to maintain one more condition table. Okay. Okay. I'm creating only one condition table, and you try with same thing. Just change the combination and create one more condition table. Okay. And how we are creating? With the help of condition fields only we are creating. Okay. These are the condition fields. Okay. With the help of all these condition fields, we are creating a one condition table. Okay. Now access sequence we need to maintain. I will show you how to maintain access sequence now. Okay. Here we can see the define access sequence. Okay. Just execute this one, and this is a cross-client condition. And if you see here, you have many things are there here. Okay. Many access sequence are there. So how will you define? They are saying this is for gross price. You are creating a condition price. In a PO, you can see gross price, net price. You can have your own conditions. Okay. For which condition you want this access sequence to be worked? It means that for which condition you want price to be pulled from the condition record. Okay. And let's think. Okay. For the gross price only we want. And for this purpose, we need to go to select the gross price. I need to go to accesses and see here. So again, with respect to the accounting, you can maintain the GL accounts. So if you maintain the accounting here, for this type of condition type, it will hit that accounting type and the GL accounts. Okay. So these are the functionalities of these 16 digits. And this completes our pricing procedure. And I will explain you in the next class how the conditions will create. All those things we will explain. If you have any doubts, please comment on the video section so that I will be responding to that. Thank you.